I didn't warn you last week, but we're going to do OneNote enforcing tonight. Larry is the only 2/1 author I've taught who doesn't do it immediately. And I don't know why he puts it off till the last, because it's absolutely crucial to playing 2/1.
It comes up more often.
It comes up all the time. And as a matter of fact, I played OneNote enforcing before I'd ever heard of 2/1. So it is kind of, as far as I'm concerned, like step 1 or step 2, and Larry puts it off. So, okay, 2/1 in a nutshell. It is when your partner changes suits at the 2 level. He or she is showing an opening hand. Where in Standard American, it was 10 or 11 points, and it was forcing 1 round. In 2/1, it requires an opening hand to change suits at the 2 level, and it's forcing to gain. So that's a critical difference. Forcing to gain, and it is when you change suits at the 2 level showing an opening hand. So 1 diamond, 2 clubs, is that 2/1?
Yes.
1 heart, 2 clubs,
Yes.
or 1 heart, 2 diamonds?
Yes.
One heart, 1 spade? No. Same old Standard American. 1 spade, 2 clubs,
Yes.
2 hearts, 2
Yes.
diamonds?
Yes.
Those are all 2/1 auctions. Now, 2/1 does not apply. Can you tell me 1 case when it doesn't apply?
If there's an intervening bid.
If over a club, she's absolutely right. You don't do 2/1 over a club, because all bids are at the 1 level. And somebody else said
Intervening bid.
intervening bid,
And pass hand.
and by a passed hand. Absolutely. So if there is an intervening bid, including a double,
Or a bid in front of your partner, right?
well, in that case, your partner is an overcaller.
Right, so.
It does not apply to when
One club, 1
partners.
diamond.
Pardon?
Opponent 1 club, I 1 diamond, it doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply if opponent opens, period. If your opponent opens and your partner overcalls, most people play, you can do it however you like, but most people play that changing suits by the advancer of the overcaller is constructive. It shows values, but it's not forcing. So, for example, 1 club, 1 heart, pass, 2 diamonds. I think 2 diamonds here should show, about 10 points?
Yeah.
But it is not forcing. It is not forcing on her partner. So, if you play it forcing, that's okay. Make sure you and your partner know. I think that it behooves you to be strong on overcalls, and not like me, because I overcall 6 points at the 1 level. Yeah. Well, why would you overcall at the 1 level with 6 points? Interfere to get a lead.
What were the 3 situations where you don't do 2/1?
If over a club, over interference, and when the passed hand, in other words, 2/1 only applies when the opener is 1st or 2nd seat. Because if opener is 3rd seat, partner has already passed.
Okay.
So if partner is a passed hand, we revert to Standard American. And one of the things I'm going to teach in the second part of this class, which who knows when we'll all be in town again, 4 weeks, but I'm going to teach the Drury Convention because it fits very nicely.
The pass hand cannot have 13 points.
Yeah, if they have 13 points, well, I'm going to find a new point. Someday, you ever had a card hidden?
Yeah.
There's nothing like thinking partner's never going to believe this hand, right? So unless they had a card hidden, they could have no more than 12, and I open 12-point hands. So I think that's modern style. I think most people open 12 points. Would you say so?
Yes.
Is that with counting length?
No, that's just.
No.
Yeah, sort of. Okay, so I have 11 points.
12,
And you count for a fifth or sixth?
Yes, I have 11 points in a 6-card suit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I count my length, and I
Okay,
do
6
not open a
cards.
week 2.
6 cards, that's.
A 6-card suit, yeah, I do what she's saying, adding the length.
6 cards.
You never have,
Never.
And the other day was
Five
five
cards,
pounds,
two,
five
five
cards,
cards,
6
two.
cards, and 10 pounds in her time I fussed it.
why? 6-5, come alive.
That's what I thought.
She opened us, she had 6 of one suit, 5 of another, and 10 high-card points.
Rule of 20.
I absolutely am gonna get in the action with that.
I was questioning this when I opened up.
Say, just say 6-5, come alive.
Well,
Or
Right
6-4, bid more.
6, 4.
All it's saying is that distributional hands can be bid more aggressively because they're offensive hands, they're not defensive hands. If you have short suits or flat hands, they work better on defense than they do on offense, right? Unless you have, you know, all the high cards in those suits. Okay, so we've got that. Any questions about what we talked about last week, those of you who were here? I'm going to start talking about OneNote enforcing, and if you really feel the need to be in the book, it's page 45. And Larry Cohen starts out by saying he hates OneNote enforcing, that nobody likes it. That's not true. I love OneNote enforcing. It solves a myriad of problems in bidding. I remember what's wrong with a bidding system when I open a spade and my partner's hand looks something like this. I have it anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They want to bid 2 clubs because they know they need to bid something. What can they bid?
3 clubs.
That's a possibility. We'll discuss that tonight. They gotta have an agreement, okay? Because 3 clubs can mean a lot of different things to people. So, OneNote enforcing solves the problem. You bid a no trump, partner says something, then you bid your clubs. And partner is expected to pass when you do that. So partner opens a spade. I bid 1 no trump forcing, 1 round, forcing 1 round. 2 over 1 bids are forcing to gain. A 1 no trump forcing is forcing 1 round. So maybe partner says 2 hearts. I don't like spades or hearts. I want to play a 5-1 or a 4-2. No, I'm going to bid 3 clubs. Because I at least have 7. Maybe he has 1 or 2. Okay. 1 no trump forcing is necessary with 2 over 1 because in standard American, a 1 no trump bid over a major is how many points?
6 to 9.
6 to 9 or 10 bad points, right?
Right.
How many?
Also deny 4-card major.
It denies a 4-card suit you can bid
Yeah, to 1 level. Right.
at the 1 level. So if partner opens a spade, I might have 4 hearts, but if I can't bid them at the 2 level. Why? Not enough hearts, and also may not have enough points. So with 1 no trump forcing, only applies over major suits. 1 no trump forcing applies only over major suits. I'm saying that 3 times because you're going to forget it. You're going to open a club and partner's going to bid a no trump and you pass and partner's going to say, that's forcing. Trust me, I've done it myself. I know you will, so
It makes
never
sense
other.
though, because if it's a minor, you've got room at the one level to bid.
And if you bid a no trump over a club, what are you also saying? You do not have 4 diamonds.
Right.
You do not have 4 hearts. You do not have 4 spades.
You've
Do
got
you-
clubs.
Do you ever see a hand come down when they bid a no trump? And they do have 4 of a major they can bid at the one level. Do you ever see that? See it all the time. But it's, well, you don't see it in, you don't often see it with experienced players. But if the spades look crummy or whatever, people say, oh, that was a crummy suit, I didn't want to bid it. So maybe they play a no trump and they run the first 6 clubs on them when they had a 4-4 spade fit. But if your partner bids a no trump, you don't trot out those spades over a club bid unless you've got a huge hand. Because he said, I don't have 4 spades. So one no trump forcing only applies over major suits. Your standard American structure is in place over 1 club or 1 diamond. If you have a 4-card suit, you can bid at the one, and you can bid them all at the one level, you bid it.
Right.
And they are unlimited, right? 1 spade says what?
Promises 4
Promises 4
and
At least 6 points.
and at least 6 points, but it's unlimited.
right.
So,
Infinity.
that stays the same. So if we bid a no trump over a minor, what are we saying?
I don't have
Don't have a 4-card suit I can bid,
And you're limiting to.
and I have 6 to 10 bad points. What if I say 2 no trump?
11, 12.
I'm gonna take that bad out there, because that's, and if I say 3 no trump, 13 to 15. Those are really pretty well standard plays. You want 11 points to invite to 2 no trump, okay? That stays the same. So back over here to 1 heart or 1 spade opening. Partner could have 11 points. And how could he show them? Assuming he doesn't have spades to make some sort of raise. If you say a spade and partner has 11 points, what do they do?
2.
Over a spade? It's different over a major. You got to separate out the majors and the minors. Your structure over a major opening should be totally different.
2
That's a minor you play. 2 no over a major means an opening hand at least. And people play it differently, but
Then that's Jacoby.
it would, most people would be Jacoby 2 no trump. So,
Promise opening hand.
so what you would do is start with 1 no trump, forcing. And just like when partner makes a transfer bid, like one no trump, 2 diamonds, and you say, transfer, this is what you do in ACBL land, as he says. When partner says 1 no trump, you say forcing. And it's forcing 1 round. 1 round.
What did this 2 no trump 11 to 12 mean then? What was that for?
Over a minor.
Oh, this was all over a minor?
Over a minor.
Oh,
He said you need to separate
okay.
your bidding structure, whether it's a major or a minor, because they really are treated differently. When you open a minor, what are you usually hoping for?
Partner got a major.
Partner has a major or
Or no.
no trump. So when you open a minor and I don't have a major, our best hope is that we can play no trump. And I've got to tell you where I am. Am I a minimum, an invitational, or a game going hand in no trump? So remember that our no trump structure over a minor tells our point range and denies a major, okay? When we open a major, Probably our best hope is usually that we can play at some level in that major. That's kind of what we expect when we open a major. Whereas when we open a minor, we don't expect to play in that minor. We're looking for a major or some level of no trump. So if I have 11 points and I'm going to give myself 2 spades on this option. Partner is going to be forced to rebid something. Sometimes he doesn't like what he has to bid, but he is forced to bid something. If he has 6 spades, he can bid 2 spades. Just like you can always rebid the major to show an extra one. If he has a second suit, maybe he has 5 spades and 4 hearts. That's easy. Now he bids 2 hearts. If he's got a hand that is 5 spades and 3 hearts, 2 diamonds, and 3 clubs, he has to say 2 clubs. And you just have to hold your nose and say it. You're not going to want to bid that 3-card suit, especially if it's the 2, 3, 4. You're not going to want to do it, but you have to. It's part of the system. It's part of your partnership trust to get to where you want to be.
Is that bidding your lowest 3-card suit?
No, it's bidding the better minor. Just like we open a convenient minor, we open, if we've got 3 clubs and 2 diamonds and an opening hand, we open a club. We're used to having a convenient minor to open. Well, these are sort of like convenient minors for rebids. You're forced to rebid something.
So in a major, you have to have 4 to bid the other.
Exactly. To come back and bid 2 hearts, I'm showing 4 at least. We don't temporize. What is temporizing? That's a just kidding bid. You know, we don't mean to play there. We just have to bid something. So that's what we're doing. Remember last week when we said that sometimes we'll temporize in a club suit where you have, partner has opened a major, and maybe I have 3 for him. Maybe he's opened a spade. I've got 4 hearts. And I have that flat shape, right? You can, in order to show your partner that you've got an opening hand, you can temporize a bid 2 clubs. Remember that? We don't temporize in majors like we do in minors. We don't kid around with majors like we do with minors. Why? Because we don't want to play in a minor. We do want to play in a major. Partner might believe us and put us way too high in a major we really don't have. So
Linda, if the responder, their second bid after one of a major, one no trump, to one of the minors, then if the responder didn't have do they need a?
we're going to get into all
Right.
the rebids.
Right.
Okay. I couldn't say it all, you
Right.
know,
Okay.
at once. But we have rebids by the opener after a one no trump forcing bid, and we have rebids by the responder after a one no trump forcing, and then a rebid by the responder. So, couple of things about one no trump forcing. It is off by after interference. And interference is also a bid or a double. So, if open a heart, and she says one spade, and I say one no trump, I now should be promising a spade stop. I have played against people who just used it to show points, and it did not usually come out well for those people, you know?
Yeah.
When you bid no trump and an opponent has been bidding, you usually have stoppers. I mean, if you're wise, you will have a stopper. So one no trump is no longer forcing over a bid. One heart, double one no trump. She's saying, I've got the other suits, probably especially stoppers and spades. So it's off if there's interference, either a double or a bid. Now, what if you are a passed hand? We said that 2/1 responses are off if I'm a passed hand. So, if Jim opens, if Dorley passes, pass, one spade, pass. 2 hearts is not an opening hand. She's already passed, so she's lying one of the times, right?
Does she have to have 5?
Yes,
And 10 points.
yes.
Right.
5
Just
hearts.
reverts to American Standard.
Yeah, it goes back to your, the way you've been bidding. Now, a question is, and remember I told you I've read at least 5 or 6 2/1 books, and I've taught 3 of them. And I try to pick out where you need to make sure you have an agreement with your partner. Some people play that when you're a passed hand, that one no trump is no longer 100% forcing. On your convention card, there's a place marked forcing and semi-forcing. And I like to play it 90% forcing to handle hands like that. I still can't bid 2 clubs, right? With that hand, I still don't have enough points. And besides, once you learn brewery, you sure can't bid 2 clubs. So I like to play that one no trump is still basically forcing by a passed hand, because it allows the responder to maybe find a better place to play. Okay? That is a partnership agreement thing. Whether you play it 100% forcing, mostly forcing. If you open, for example, 3rd seed, and you've opened a heart, and your hand isn't real strong in hearts, it's basically balanced, and you've got outside cards and the other suits, yeah, I might pass that. I probably would. We're not going to game, and I'm not really crazy about playing in hearts. So I might pass one no trump and think, with any luck, the opponents will come in and bid and get us off the hook here. But otherwise, I'll pretty much play it as forcing. So by a passed hand, one no trump may or may not be 100% forcing, depending on how you and your partner decide you want to play it. And people usually have a pretty strong opinion. But if partner is not a passed hand, if there is no interference, it is 100% forcing. Are there times when one no trump is the best contract? Sure. I mean, there are times when if one no trump were not a forcing bid, one no trump making 2 is 120, and you might be playing 2 clubs making 3, and it's still not as good as the one no trump. I still think it's worth it, as do, I know 0 advanced players who do not play one no trump forcing unless they have a totally different bidding system.
Say that again.
There are people who play like Precision or Polish